Welcome, bienvenidos to El Calentón podcast. We are a Latinx podcast brought to you by Mijente, and we're also a podcast about current issues and events impacting our gente and shaping our lives across politics, cultura, music, food, and more. En pocas palabras, El Calentón is what we're calling our hot takes of the moment. And today we want to introduce El Calentón to the world. So hello, mucho gusto. Estamos estrenando. Thank you for tuning in to El Calentón podcast. This is hosted by Mijente, and Mijente is a national Latinx and Chicanx political home and organizing hub for folks in the US and Puerto Rico. So one, shout out to all of our Mijente members, if we can get a round of applause for all of our Mijente members that are tuning in. I want to share that our Mijente members also get special access to special, exclusive El Calentón podcast episodes. So, if you're not a Mijente member yet, please consider joining today, and you can do that, or at least read more, informate, at mijente.net/join. And that's Mijente with a J for justice. Eso. Who am I? ¿Quién soy yo? Nice to meet you. My name is Cinthya Rodriguez, and I'm a national organizer with Mijente, and I'm based out of the south side of Chicago. But today, vengo bien acompañada. I am not alone. I have some great company. So please join me in showing some love to my El Calentón co-hosts. I'm here today first with Jorge Gutierrez, our membership director, longtime organizer, and someone with just $1 million smile. So welcome, Jorge. And then we also have the one and only Aliana Bigio Alcoba, cultural worker con mucho sentimiento with a big heart, and content creator with Mijente. So Jorge, Ali, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm feeling good, very jealous de Jorge's headphones, pero that's another conversation. So happy to be here. Thank you, Cinthya, for your kind words. I'm a content creator with Mijente. This is the second time I've ever been on a podcast, pero I'm ready for this calentón, so thank you for that introduction.
¿Y dónde estás? Where are you at?
Pues I'm in El Verdadero Calentón. Welcome to the Calentón. I'm in San Juan, Puerto Rico, but I have to say that I'm not from San Juan. I'm from Caguas. If there's anybody listening que tiene family in Caguas or is from Caguas, understands the importance of making that difference. So, yeah, estoy en El Calentón.
That's
yes.
right.
Hey, girls. Hey, super excited to be here. Cinthya, can you do my introductions all the time now? I love
you can record me.
Right, I can record you and have that, whenever I get invited to do anything. Super excited to be with you all. Jorge, membership director at Mijente. I've been organizing for many, many years. No dejes que esta carita te engañe. I look older than I look. From Los Angeles, pero pues mexicano de Nayarit. Shout out to all the people from Nayarit who are listening. I'm super excited to be here. I'm a Taurus, FYI.
Important.
But I feel like I'm a soft Taurus, Me llevo bien con la gente.
Am I the only fire sign? Cinthya, are you fire sign?
I'm a water sign. I'm a Cancer.
Oh my God.
Ooh, I'm an earth sign. Fire,
Okay.
water, and earth. Ooh.
So this is my type of place, El Calentón, the fire. All the fire. I'm an Aries and I'm a rising Leo, so 2 fire signs there.
Oh, yo no, sabrá Dios if I'm rising or whatever that is. All I know is I'm a Taurus.
Sol, playa, y arena.
Sol, playa y arena, vamos allá. Okay, so let's talk about why this podcast is called El Calentón. I think it's appropriate to start in Puerto Rico, precisamente Bad Bunny's song El Apagón that came out. Was that last year? I'm confusing my years. Un Verano Sin Ti, was that last summer? I don't know. Anyways, I think it was. But when we talk about El Calentón in Puerto Rico, it has a lot of different meanings, and we're going to talk about that, like what it means for us and everything. But in Puerto Rico, El Calentón, especialmente, apart from it being super hot and super like weather para ir a la playa, para janguear, It also means like spaces donde puede haber intensity, controversia, where we give our hot takes, where things are like not neutral or easy. And we're talking about like este dicho when you go to like your family table to talk about stuff. Everybody says acá en Puerto Rico como en la mesa no se habla de política ni religión. We don't bring religion or politics to the table because it's controversial, because it starts arguments. But in this space, en el Calentón podcast, es todo lo contrario. Please bring politics and religion and difficult issues to the table y traer nuestros hot takes para aportar to the narrative. We know that our hot takes and our voices are not usually centered, so queremos en este espacio bring all that sazón and calentón que caracteriza mucho el trabajo de Mijente. So, para mí, el calentón es eso, es atreverse a traer las cosas complicadas and explaining them and helping other people like entenderlas un poquito mejor para involucrarnos en las cosas que will change the world y nos van a acercar un poquito más al buen vivir. So, we hope to bring all the fire and sazón de Puerto Rico desde acá virtualmente. And yeah, I don't know if... What do you all feel about this word? Cuando nos dijeron que se iba a llamar el calentón. What does el calentón mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, at first, when I heard that we were going to launch el Calentón podcast, I was like, el calentón. ¿De qué vamos a hablar? ¡Qué fuerte! ¿Qué les está calentando?
¿O quién te está calentando? ¿O quién te está calentando?
But you know, this is not that kind of podcast. I'm just kidding. But I you know, once you started to share the context and the story, I feel like it's the right name for this podcast, and I think we really need that framing, especially right now. And honestly, like, words can mean a lot of things. So les tengo una anécdota así bien cortito. And to share a little bit about who I am as well. So, you know, I grew up in Chicago, and growing up, I thought that Chicano meant you're a Chicago Mexicano. Clearly, I'm not one to be like, words mean a lot of things.
Wait, Chicano meant that you were a Chicago Mexicano? Like that?
That's what I thought. That's not that's not the official definition.
Yeah, but that's so cute. Tiene todo el sentido that you would think that.
Well, yeah, you know, I would hear, you know, la canción de los Bukis on the radio where they, you know, oh my gosh, it's like, y brindamos los chicanos por todos los mexicanos, los hermanos de verdad, California, nuestra tierra, aunque digan los güeros, it's not your home. And I thought that was the most hilarious thing when I was little. But for me, you know, that song was always about, even though they talk about different states, I thought they were talking about Chicanos or Chicago Mexicanos. Chicagoans just think the world revolves around them. I'm sorry.
Don't we all?
And it wasn't until I learned about the Chicano movement that I learned, you know, this is the history. And also there was a Chicano movement in Chicago, but you know, words can mean a lot of things. And so El Calentón is not just a heater, Mexicanos. It doesn't just mean that. And I'm here for it because I think what's really useful and helpful and special about what you shared, Ali, is that, you know, we have to be clear about what drives us, about what fires us up, about what makes us feel alive, and what we stand for. And so this podcast is not an invitation to be neutral. ¿Qué piensas tú, Jorge?
Yes. That's a funny story. The Chicago. How funny. I'm sure you wanted that to be real, to be true, huh?
It's true in my heart.
And how you represent the south side of Chicago. No, I think para mí significa sí, como what's gonna get us hot and bothered in terms of like politics, in terms of like what's happening in pop culture, in our own cultures, ¿verdad? Bring all the complicated stuff here para, como cuando se hace la masa, ¿no? Amasar, cuando los tamales, ¿no? Amasar la masa, deshebrar el pollo cuando está haciendo flautas o tinga, to be able to like make sense of it for ourselves, for us as an organization, for our people, so that it can really help us find clarity in terms of para dónde vamos, ¿no? Y qué es lo que necesitamos to get us there. So that's what it means to me.
Yeah, that makes sense to me because there's like also a lot of podcasts or just spaces in general en toda esta periferia that when they share like hot takes o cosas de calentón or controversial, they're usually like very offensive o como no construyen realmente. So sí es un calentón, pero un calentón that's gonna clear up space, que vamos a discutir cosas que nos van a ayudar a entender what's going on, cuál es el political climate, and like just do it in a more fun way.
See, like not just bringing things for the sake of controversy, you know?
Yeah.
Sí.
We can get a little bit controversial because we are going to.
Yes. Pero me recuerda como, you know, those like talk shows like The View and others, you know, que they just like bring controversy just for like para que peleen. But there's like no,
and then
there's
they
no
cue the
insight,
music.
right?
Yeah.
There is no insight. There's like no knowledge or wisdom that's you know taken from it. It's just like para pelearse, you know. But I think, pues sí nos vamos a pelear, hopefully, right? Disagree, pero with the intention, right, of like finding truth and meaning to what's happening out there in the world.
Yeah, and I think it's important to like clear up de dónde viene el calentón, like de dónde viene este podcast, de dónde sale este proyecto, and also like what unites us three, because we didn't know each other and now we work together. So todo esto pasa por Mijente, and we would like to know a little bit more qué es Mijente, de la Reina del Sur Side, que tiene algo que compartirnos sobre nuestra organización política, nuestra casita política.
Yes, let's get into it. So, what is Mijente? But to understand what is Mijente, I do want to follow up on your point. Well, both of y'all's points, right? That, you know, hot takes are not just for the sake of hot takes. You know, what drives you, lo que te enciende, you know, how does that motivate you to take action? Because at the end of the day, Mijente is an organization that believes that organizing is how we make change. And so, you know, one of the things that I think came up for me when I was thinking about El Calentón and the work that we're doing at Mijente is about taking action, is about, you know, how do we do that with care? And so I've been thinking a lot about this idea of like controlled fires and firekeeping. So I wanted to bring that to the table. You know, there's a lot for us to learn, I think, from indigenous traditions of firekeeping, both throughout history and also how folks are keeping the fire today. Fire is sacred, you know. Fire is a gift, a way to communicate how we take care of the earth, how we take care of one another.
Can you explain lo que es controlled fire? Como, what do you mean by that?
So controlled fire, like cuando se hacen los incendios en los bosques, when there's forest, you know, controlled forest fires to help clear the land so that you know, it can be easier for growth to happen. And that's something that, you know, it's been an indigenous practice for, you know, since you know, it's been necessary, and that's done with care.
Sí, no, me acuerdo, yo crecí en un ranchito en Nayarit, and so there was a lot of families did farming, and so when it was time to get the land ready and fertile for the new crops, like they would burn it to like clear out the old and make sure that there was, you know, it was fertile and good for the new crops.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's amazing, because fire is usually thought of como destructivo, like no ayuda, but a mí lo que me hace pensar en el fire es la fiesta de la Candelaria o la quemada de la Candelaria. I don't know si hacen eso. Eso es de la religión católica. Después hablaremos de cómo la religión está metida en nuestra cultura, pero sí, en 2 de febrero entiendo que es February 2nd that we burn all the Christmas trees. I'm not sure what that means, but we do that. And I also have a match as a tattoo because I like fire a lot. Así que thank you for explaining that. No conocía de eso.
All the calentón. Andamos calenturientos. I'm just kidding.
In different ways, Cinthya, you know, it can be sexy, it can be playful, you know. It doesn't have to, and it can be dirty. Todo, you know.
todo. And also to your point, which is what I wanted to pivot to, Ali, that the key is about, you know, taking care of the fire, keeping the fire, not carelessly, because fire is absolutely being weaponized. And so those are the kinds of conversations we're going to have here on El Calentón, because, you know, one thing that I want to name before we move on is something that's being uplifted right now by folks on social media, particularly as we demand an end to the occupation of Palestine, an end to the siege on Gaza, an immediate ceasefire. You know, folks are sharing how Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank are burning olive trees. Wow. And it's not new, right? This practice of burning olive trees. It's not. But, and I want to paraphrase, what's being uplifted on social media is that Indigenous people don't burn these precious olive trees to destroy them. We don't destroy the land. The land is connected to our people, to our culture, to our languages. We have a really deep relationship with the land. And so a part of El Calentón is also about how do we keep and maintain those relationships. And a part of that is by taking action. And so you can expect to tune into El Calentón and hear about the work that Mijente is doing, that Mijente has been doing locally and nationally, because Mijente, again, is a national Latinx, Chicanx organization with membership in the US and Puerto Rico. We were founded in 2015 because there was this need identified, right, for a space for progressive Latinx folks to come together, to have a space that was both an organizing hub and a political home for our gente, where we could think short-term and long-term about what we're facing and what we want to build. And so I'll just say that, one, we're an organizing hub because we believe that organizing is how we make change. Again, organizing is how we make change. It's how we can win. It's how can we bring people together to build together and to get the resources, get the goods for our gente? And how are we building campaigns and becoming a network for culture and education in our communities? And two, we're a political home because this is a space to convene with other like-minded Latinx and Chicanx people that share our values. And those values are absolutely pro-mujer, pro-queer, pro-Black, pro-Indigenous, pro-migrant, pro-worker. And so we believe that building that home or that political casita is actually going to require not just more of us, but more from us, right? That's one of our dichos. And that needs to happen at all levels. So whether your expertise is in greeting people at the door of the casita or cooking in the kitchen of the casita, tending to the garden, DJing the party at the casita, whatever it is, keeping the fire in the backyard, whatever it is, we need you. So this is also an invitation for folks who want to consider becoming Mijente members. So ya me fui un poquito corny. So also in the corniest way I can think of, Jorge, what has Mijente been cooking up lately?
Wait, I love all the corniness. I love the metaphor la casita. It's so one of the things we just wrapped up was, last month we were in Tucson, Arizona for our Instituto, our, Political Formation 2023. So, we brought together around 150 Latinx, change makers, organizers, activists, storytellers, and we had 4 tracks that folks participated in. One was the grassroots organizing, second one was electoral organizing, the third one was advanced political education, and the fourth one, arts and communications. And so I think for us, after, the first couple of years of COVID, after, the Trump presidency, right, we felt that there was a need to do this because, one, we know that we need to strengthen our organizing skills. We need to bring in new organizers. We need political formation, really make sense of what's happening not only in the US and Puerto Rico, but all over the world. We need connection. We need strategy. What are going to be the strategies to really help us get, fight for the lives and dignity of our gente everywhere. And we need all of this, I think, for me, right, to help us, chart the path forward. We're living in very complicated, political moments, and it's going to take a lot more of us and from us to win and get the goods for our people. And so we were there, and it was amazing to be in Arizona, hablando del calentón, right? Estaba calorcito esos días.
Demasiado.
Yo traía mis short shorts, todos los días porque no aguantaba el calor, but it was beautiful to reconnect with the folks, to meet new faces, and to know that our gente is out there and they're looking for that political home. They're looking for that political casita, because they understand what's happening y le quieren entrar.
Yeah, shout out to our Tucson crew que nos recibieron como si estuviéramos en casa. Even though the calentón over there is not humid, it's very dry, like otra cosa totalmente distinta. So let's move on to a very interesting segment that we're going to have in this podcast, en todos los episodios. Este segmento is called Temperature Check. So, quedándonos en el theme, ya hablamos what does Calentón mean for us. We talked a little bit about Mijente and what we have been up to. So, let's do a temperature check on something that's been going on social media, pop culture, TikTok, all these platforms, todas estas conversaciones. But something very interesting happened that like clashed two worlds, the world of technology and the world of music and reggaeton. Bad Bunny had an AI song go viral on TikTok, and he was not happy about it. He was actually very angry about this. The song, no me la sé de memoria, but it's really good. It's really good. No me acuerdo ahora mismo, but it's good. And people are even like arguing que it's better than his recent album, Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana. That's a very controversial statement for all the folks who really like the new album, pero people are saying that. So he has a broadcast channel in WhatsApp, and he let everybody know how angry he was about it. He told the fans that created the AI song or that liked the AI song that he didn't want to see them in his concert. He was super angry about it. So for temperature check, like de frío a calor, como frío, I really don't care about this, or I think like this is like not a good reaction. O caliente, does this make you angry? Does this make you feel any intense way? So my question to you both, quien quiera ir primero, what do you think about Bad Bunny's AI song and his reaction to it? Right now, it's not on Spotify anymore. He had it taken down after one day, and it had almost 1 million plays. So, yeah, I think ahora se puede escuchar in TikTok, nada más.
Bien informada, Lali. Are you on the WhatsApp?
Sí, me encanta.
Of course. Claro que estoy en el WhatsApp. Y estoy en un momento, as a Bad Bunny fan, as a Puerto Rican, I'm in like a weird moment. I feel weird towards him. Está con la Candel Jenner. ¿Cómo es que le dicen? Candle. I can't. It's been breaking my heart, and I think he is in the Kardashian curse right now, and this is part of it. Pero quiero escucharlo a ustedes.
¿Quién le da? Pues a mí me pone bien caliente, ¿no? Por varias razones. I think that one, this whole AI is really scary, right? And I think that we need to take it really serious in terms, it's an extension of how like technology and surveillance is being used to take away jobs, to, target our people, criminalize our people. I mean, yo pienso que Bad Bunny is coming from like, this is hurting my pocket, right? But not really thinking about how it's impacting the industry, but in music and Hollywood, like with actors and writers, this was a big part of their negotiation, right? Of like,
and a strike.
How do they limit AI from being used? Because, le está tratando de quitar jobs and money that people should get paid for, right? Entonces, para mí, como que in that way, se me pone caliente. I think Bad Bunny is not really making the connection of how AI is being used in all kinds of ways, in bad kinds of negative ways, right? That's like impacting our people. And I always connect it to sort of kind of like, every time we hear about robots and how it's like they're wanting to create robots to replace workers and impact, and how that impacts working class people. So a mí me pone bien caliente, and I agree with you. It's the Kardashians, curse, ojalá se libre de estas cosas para que pueda seguir una vida más plena.
Amen.
Así será. Behind me I have 2 candles.
I see. Yeah, I know I was going to ask you earlier. A ver.
Yeah, you should light them up for him para que...
I know, muy religiosa
guíale el camino a Benito Antonio.
Déjame te platico. So, one is San Miguel, because I had a lot of car crashes before my Saturn return, before turning 29, and I was told to have San Miguel to help stop my car crashes.
You had a lot of what?
Car crashes.
Like, you were crashing your car?
Like, people were crashing into me. Like, I was doing no wrong. Minding my own business, staying in my lane. And then 2, I have San Martín de Porres, who's actually the patron saint of racial justice. So,
wow,
we gonna light a candle for some racial justice up in here in this Bad Bunny, Kendall Jenner situation.
I had no idea there was
Yeah.
a racial justice saint.
Pa que
That's
veas.
amazing. So, Cinthya, how do you feel about it? Do you care? Do you think like what do you think about his reaction? Or just like that AI generated arguably a better song that he...
My temperature check, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. Like, los apoyo.
Wow.
That in itself
Esas
is
son
super
palabras contundentes. ¿O cómo se dice? Son palabras
Sí,
serias.
palabras contundentes. Uh-huh.
Wow, okay.
I have a lot of love. I've been to, like, back in the day, showed up to his concert. I was wearing a Bugs Bunny shirt. Like, I've been, sí lo apoyado. But I just don't listen to him like that anymore.
Yeah.
So in that case, I was like, okay, like, my temperature check is like, tibio. But then, actually, like, around the larger issue around AI, like, my temperature check is like, nos estamos quemando. Like, this is like auxilio, aviso, primer, segundo, tercer anuncio. Like, we should be really concerned about AI.
Yeah.
At the end of October, Presidente Biden signed an executive order around artificial intelligence, and we're going to be cautiously optimistic about it. It's important to take steps to like rein in the AI industry, which is part of the larger big tech, big data. But it's also like we're seeing the White House rushing to rein in possible abuses related to AI, to artificial intelligence. And that can be encouraging, but at the same time, like what is happening behind that, and actually what are tech companies hiding that has already been happening, and how has the harm already happened, and how is the harm still happening, right? Because this isn't new. I think AI has entered our lexicon here in the US more broadly, but
I think in the last year, because I mean, AI, meaning artificial intelligence, is como this machine that takes all the information that's on the internet, right? And just like creates whatever you ask that machine to do. So with more information, más strong it gets. But for me, it's something relatively new, como accesible. And to me, it all started with do you guys remember like the pictures que you could put 10 selfies and it generated like this avatar, super weird. And then it just kept going off with different trends and like music now being generated in that way. So I think, yeah, it's definitely, it's really, o sea, preocupa. Pero Bad Bunny, como dice Jorge, I think está preocupado more for his pocket que what AI can do to the world.
See, and in a different vein, there's artists absolutely should be concerned, and I would love to hear you, Jorge, share about like what this means for folks coming out of some of the strikes in Hollywood. Pero I just wanted to say that on the other and in the whole universe of AI, you have these tech companies that are now like furiously updating like their service, their privacy policies, so that it continues to work for them. Because as you said, Ali, right, they're training these AI models that they have, and they're training them using our personal data. And we hear these big names of some of these big companies like, Clearview AI, which is actually a company that Mijente, through the No Tech for ICE campaign, our campaign that looks at how big tech, big data companies are entering into contracts with ICE to move forward ICE's goal of surveilling, detaining, deporting our people. You have companies like Clearview AI that are enacting harmful facial recognition, that have scrubbed the internet of our faces, and that have also have faced repercussions, but not enough. We have, of course, OpenAI, which everyone is talking about right now, particularly in regards to ChatGPT. But folks have spoken up about how it's also scrubbing so much information to train its models, and I just think we have to think about all of this at the end of the day in terms of the data economy that we live in, and really understand that myself and I want to say, the work that we've done through the No Tech for ICE campaign, we're not anti-technology.
Yeah, I think that's important to say, because AI also has like puede generar cosas buenas. Siempre how people like use it and quién lo controla, ¿verdad? Quién está haciendo chavo de eso, who's making money. And so it's definitely complicated because it has the good sides, but it can get out of control, definitely.
Yeah, because the technology we're not against technology, but we are really paying attention to how we're talking about technology that exists in an economy where data is already fundamentally, racist, discriminatory, bias, whatever you want to call it. And so where do we go from there?
Sí. Well, just wanted to close the loop on what Cinthya asked, about the writers and actors strike. The AI was a huge, point in the negotiations, right? Like folks really wanting to say, let's limit how AI is being used because it is taking away jobs. It is, it is putting our talent and creativity on the line. And so this is a huge conversation. I think we're going to hear more of it in the upcoming years. Pues, nos tenemos que poner truchas because this can be a really bad thing for a lot of us.
Yeah. We want to give an opportunity for everybody listening to just tell us what you think about this debate. What do you think about AI, or what do you think about Bad Bunny's interaction and experience with AI? And please send that to @conmijente, which is our social media. And if you haven't yet, please follow us. Or you can also send your thoughts on this to elcalentón@mijente.net. And with that said, also, what are you listening to? Maybe our favorite songs in the future will be AI generated. That would be very sad. But if you have a song that you think, if you have a song that you think that goes off y te encanta and it's AI generated, it'd be interesting to listen to it. You can also send that over. Y no sé si quieren decir, what songs have you guys been listening to para ir cerrando?
I've been listening to a lot of Karol G, a lot of Cari Leon. Not necessarily the most upbeat, jangueo parranda music, but I love. And then Kylie Minogue just put out a new album, and I'm a huge Kylie Minogue fan. So if you're out there, listen to her new album. It's amazing. I'm excited. I'm going to go see her in Vegas next month. So I'm excited for that.
¿Y tú, Cinthya? ¿Qué estás escuchando? What are you listening to?
I wanted to bring an oldie but a goodie because I was like, Jorge, we really need an El Calentón podcast, just all the songs that talk about calor, caliente. And I think we've already mentioned quite a few. But throwback, do y'all remember la de Que calor?
Yeah.
Never heard that in my life. No sé
it's like a sonidero cumbia song. It's really popular on TikTok, no?
Yeah, it's cumbia. There's a couple versiones, and I like la de Supermercado, el grupo de cumbia en Argentina. But I made a little remix. ¿Lo quieren escuchar?
Oh, yeah. Let us hear it.
Are you gonna sing it?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
The song is like
is this your debut as DJ Reina del Sur side?
I would love to DJ, pero cantar nada que ver.
Dale, let's listen. Dale.
So, que calor, oeo, que levante la mano como yo. Esto es el calentón.
Ay, mira a ella produciendo, componiendo música.
Yeah, y antes de que, before we bust someone's eardrum open.
Yeah.
For real.
I have to say that I liked Bad Bunny's AI generated song. Quiero dejar esto claro. I was just saying that it would be sad that in the future that's all we listen to. I know that's not going to happen porque la música y el arte necesita de los seres humanos y necesitamos esas conexiones por siempre. Así que, dicho eso, I like that, and I am also listening to Troye Sivan. I don't know if I said that right. Pero voy a cantar. You just got me started. That's all I know. Pero it's such a fun song. No conozco mucho de él, pero me gusta su música últimamente.
Y pues con eso, we wanted to thank you all for listening to El Calentón. We are gonna continue, putting out new episodes, and some of them will be exclusive for our members. So if you're not a member and you want to join our political casita, you can do so by going on mijente.net/join. y para que se apunten, se asomen, and if you see what you like, become a member.
Yes, so thank you so much for listening. Vamos a estar aquí como relevando hosting, right? Where sometimes we're going to see each other, a veces no. Así que it was so fun to share the space with you all y hablar del calentón y hablar de AI and all the topics que están popping off. Así que gracias.
Yes,
Gracias
thanks
a
everybody
ti.
for tuning in. And yes, and thank you, Cinthya and Ali. I had a blast with you too.